We talked about that.
Yeah. Tonight's meeting of the Floyd City Council to order. I ask anyone to please silence your cell phones. Andy, would you take a roll call, please?
Tony Gingler,
Yes.
Bob Richard,
Here.
Kent Miller,
Yes.
Rick Brown,
Yep.
Charlene Abel, Matt Oddie,
Here.
Lloyd Luttrell,
Present.
Robert Peterson.
Here.
Thank you. If you'll stand with me for the invocation of the pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, thank you for the moisture that we have received, and thank you for keeping our town safe and our city employees safe as they're working out in these storms, trying to maintain power and prevent more flooding in our community. Please be with us as we heal our community from this past storm. Be with our law enforcement and the soldiers that protect our freedom. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boy, yeah.
I don't think I did this time.
Yeah, I got a couple things. One, I was driving around town, I noticed the city had some damage on the administrative building, and like almost all of the windows were broke out. Just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. And also, I saw a real amazing thing. I saw the concrete was still open today. And I saw people walking out with toothpicks in their mouth. I was real happy to see that. I didn't want that to be the case.
That's major damage.
That's all.
Had several comments from people within my area that wanted me to bring up and commend the city for the good job of cleanup that they did so far. They got started really early this morning and they were hard at it. So it really appreciated.
Thank you, Ken. Rick?
No.
I just want to say, after last meeting, I talked with Commissioner Clausen. We've been friends a long time. We're still friends. He told me we had good business, everything's square, and I hope everybody gives him due respect as a county commissioner, so I'm happy about
Okay. Well, that's a good deal. Thank you, Mike. Tony?
I'll just thank the city for their hard work. They got a lot of mess to clean up, but they're working hard at it.
Some things that we just kind of come to expect, and it's always appreciated, that's a fact. Mr. Peterson?
Well, I'm echoing the same thing.
Thank you.
Oh, and y'all also thank the county for opening up the dump yesterday, just so everybody can get a lot of stuff out there on a holiday.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to have somewhere to go. Katie?
Nothing to report. Thanks.
Mr. Ryan?
I will defer to the work session.
We have no public comment this evening, so the next item is the consent agenda for August the 19th for the council meeting minutes and appropriations 9A.
Usually approved.
The move that we approve appropriations 9A in the meeting, council meeting minutes from August 19th. Any discussion? No further discussion. Then we take a roll call vote, please.
Brown,
Yep.
Gingler,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Oddie,
Yes.
Peterson,
Good.
Luttrell,
Yes.
Richard.
it. Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is ordinance 2153, electric extensions in town.
Also moved.
Been moved by Councilor Brown that we accept ordinance 2153, electric extensions. Do I have a second? Second by Councilor Richard.
I have a question on the actual ordinance itself, on C and on E. This designates the director of systems operations. Do we even have that title anymore?
Yeah, we do. It should be the director of electric operations.
So we would change the motion to as amended, or as changed.
Change that motion
What I changed to?
to the director of electric operation on ordinance.
I changed to Director of Electric Operations.
Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call, please?
Latrell,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Miller,
Yes.
Carried. Next item on the agenda is ordinance 2154. The establishes fees for temporary electric services inside the city limits.
I thought it, or just, with the temporary poles.
It's not actually poles, it's for electric service for a year. Which I guess is the what's done,
Temporary
but-
service like you're building a house.
If you're building a house,
Right.
set in a meter as a hookup, so you can keep the contractor. Pardon me, what happened?
Glenn's memo says temporary pole.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it should just be temporary service.
I so moved.
Okay, been moved by Councilman Richards that we approve ordinance 2154, temporary service.
That's my guy.
Second by Councilman Peterson. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Richard,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Miller,
Yes.
Motion carried. Next item on the agenda, as there is no resolutions, the formal actions.
There is a
To nominate building.
There is a resolution.
There is? There is?
Oh, yeah.
Your-
Oops. Back up.
Sec-
Okay, let me back up.
Yeah.
It's in your packet, just not on your agenda.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's gonna be a resolution, the fee schedule.
Yeah.
Well, it says none, but it's in.
It's the second amended 2014 fee schedule.
All this
Okay,
is,
the next item, the next resolution is 2014-16, 2014 amended fee schedule.
what this is
Right.
doing is actually putting in those fees that you just voted on that ordinance. We put the fees all together in this fee resolution, so we've added those $100 for temporary electric service in the city every 6 months and $200 for outside the city. That's the only change
That's the only change from what was.
from what we did in April, which was the first amended one. Yeah,
Okay.
And that doesn't include the use of electricity. That's
correct. They
just-
still have to pay it's just a connection fee. Yep.
I'm going to approve the resolution 2014-16 fee schedule.
It's been moved by Councilman Trill that we approve resolution 2014-16. Got a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Brown. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call, please?
Richard,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Audi,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Okay. Now, on the form action. We need the 2 voting delegates, an alternate for the League of Municipalities meeting. Have anyone interested in attending and serving as a delegate?
What is the date of it? What is the date of it?
October, isn't it?
11 through 13.
Yeah, I think it's October 11th through the 13th. It now goes Saturday through Monday.
Matt, you usually go to that.
I have, but last year we didn't get a saved Christmas party. So,
Not safe Christmas.
So if I nominate you, that you won't throw anything at me.
Glenn, can you serve as an alternate?
Sure can. And I believe also Heather is going to the conference.
So we just need you two. Glenn, or do you need somebody else?
other city councilors are doing, and you get a good understanding of, you know, the issues across the state, so, I think Charlotte would be a good one, Tony, I think it'd be good to go, I mean, you'll get a lot out of it, if you're so interested.
Okay, entertain a motion for the delegates.
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilman Miller that we appoint Matt Audi as the delegate and Glenn Rodden as the alternate. Second? Second by Councilman Richards. Any further discussion? No further discussion, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the credit card policy that was sent out in our council package. Any questions for staff?
Is this the first time we've really had a set policy?
I think in the past they've had one, but I don't know if they could produce it.
Well, I think it's good to have it. But I move that we accept this.
Just a second, just a second. You had a
I
question?
have, yeah, maybe some. This that's in the packet is a user agreement. Are we considering that as a policy?
Yes, I would, you know,
Doesn't
that's where anybody would,
Doesn't really set a policy, but this is just an agreement between each employee and the city.
Well, I think each employee has to sign it when they,
But that doesn't make it a policy, though, unless the policy is that the employee has to sign this to get a card.
well, that's kind of our policy, it tells what they can and can't use it for. Is that correct? Is what we're trying to establish.
Katie, does this look fine with you?
It's fine to me.
I move we accept.
I'll second it.
It's moved by Councilman Miller that we accept the credit card policy, second by Councilman Brown. Any further discussion? No further discussion, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Okay?
Next item on the agenda is a special event license for fireworks at every home football game. Questions?
Has that been approved through the high school, through the school board?
no, I don't know. I don't know if they have or not. I think they've actually been doing it for a while, that's what I understand.
Yeah, I've been doing it, so I'll ask.
Yeah, they start.
Are we,
Yeah.
It wasn't legal for me to do that.
yeah,
I still done it anyway.
are we opening a can of worms if we do this? I mean, fireworks is fireworks, I don't care who's shooting them. That's, not everybody in town when shoot fireworks.
I think all it is after they win the game, they're gonna shoot a couple bottle rockets and thunder boomers off. And go, yay, we won. I think that's all it's for asking for.
Lloyd.
I'm wondering what happens if one of those goes awry though and hits the person, a little child, whatever, who takes the liability on for that? And I don't know, bothers me.
Would that be the school's liability?
It would, it's on their property and whatever, so I mean, it's really similar to anybody else shooting fireworks during our,
And why do
Fourth of
they
July.
need our permission?
Because it's against, we have an ordinance that doesn't allow fireworks except for
during that window of the 4th of July, that's the only difference here. So, yeah, I mean, you would just change it from that window to whenever they have their home games. That's the only difference.
And there, I believe there would be 4 and then possibly a couple playoff games, so you're looking at probably 5 to 6 times.
I'm just afraid we're gonna have other people want to do the same thing. I don't object to it, but I'll go along with council. I think we're opening a can of worms.
Yeah, we do the same thing.
I really
with other
think
people
we're
that say, well, yeah,
checking
they
the
don't
board,
do it too.
school board to see if they okay.
Did we talk to Chief Rugg or Chief Miller?
No, I didn't talk to them at all about that.
Well, I think you got plenty of rain, I don't think
Don't worry about it. Fire dangerous, it's real.
He's not a fireman.
What you heard about it or whatever?
This is it.
Okay.
That's the first time I've heard of it.
We probably like.
Do I like it?
Could we get something from the school board, you know, as far as liability and that type of thing to make sure?
Really need something.
Not by the next game. The next game will be
Well, that,
your office.
I'm just trying to support you. but-
In accordance with the, if it's legal with the school board.
Yeah, we could do that.
What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Approve the pending
You wanna
school-
approve it
Yeah.
pending school
Pending
board?
school board approval.
There you go.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second, whatever.
Okay. The motion is to pass the special events for the fireworks, traffic football game with the city council approval, pending approval from the school board. Do I have a second?
Well, you,
I thought-
One and two, I don't care.
You made the motion, I need a second.
Second.
Tony made the motion, you made the second. Any further discussion? No further discussion, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, next item on the agenda is from Trek Design Group, LLC, a contract for the water testing to get us on track. We'll move ahead. So, any questions on that? Lloyd?
In Glenn's memo, he has $62,500 for the cost, and in the agreement, it says $62,000.
Okay, you get 62,000, they've got that in their agreement. Okay, yeah, I don't know why. It's the 62,000.
So it'd be the 62,000?
Yeah.
And can we expend or encumber money from next year's budget this year? If that's gonna start almost immediately,
Right, well,
and just by passing this, we're encumbering it this year.
right. Yeah, I don't know if that, I don't know if that makes a difference in how we're gonna pay for it, because it'd be out of that same fund.
And this payment's due right away, Glenn? Up on
It says
approval.
monthly.
Well, yeah,
Is this the thing that Bremer came and talked to us about?
Right,
Yeah.
testing the water at the lake in between, and then at the intake, I think throughout the system.
Well, that's something.
right, I believe you can actually do that, have overlap the fiscal years. I mean, that's,
do you want
we're not the first one to do that.
the table while you make sure?
I don't think I don't think that violates anything to, because there are numerous other contracts we have that would do the same thing, or projects that go on for more than one fiscal year, so.
Because they're gonna start testing this fall.
Right, and we go into next year, so I don't think that creates any kind of a,
Your KDOT project is.
Now, the big question is,
Yeah.
because it says the funding for this project will come from the city's 2015
right.
Water Plant Professional Service Fund, which has $90,000 in it right now.
Mhm.
Does that fund have any money in it right now this year to pay anything between now and the end of the year?
Yeah, I believe it, I don't know how much it has, but.
Well, aren't we in the 2015 budget right now?
No.
No, it doesn't actually start until January
Till
1st.
January.
Yeah, we pass it in August, but it doesn't,
July.
you know, that's just the way our fiscal year works.
So we start working on the budget in July. table this then until our next meeting, or do we need to?
Yeah, I mean, it'll delay another couple of weeks, but, so I don't know, yeah, Stuart's here, I don't know if that's gonna create a problem for the timetable that you got on that,
I
report
don't
or
think,
not.
I don't think that it creates any problems with the timeline on the testing. I can tell you that he has started testing already. He's pulled a couple of samples and he's seen some things that intrigue him, and that's all I know. I don't think that it matters one way or the other for him. I do believe that the bulk of the costs will not even be billed until 2015.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
And I can't speak for him, but I believe that he would probably be okay with delaying billing until 2015 if that made a difference for, the way your business is conducted, but.
You gotta put it back in the 2015 budget.
Right.
Yeah. Entertain a motion to make payment due in
Table it.
2015.
Well, however we need to do it. That was gonna be my question to Stuart, is we're not gonna pay it this year. If you want that in the motion, fine, we pay it out.
Just make the motion with the payment due of $62,000 due in January 2015.
If I could interject one thing, I do believe, oh, excuse me, I read something wrong. Forget I said it.
Bob's motion that we approve the Trek Design Group contract for $62,000 for the testing due in January 2015. Second by Councilman Brown. Any further comment?
Other pools with better water. It's a step towards that.
Did that happen? Okay, no further comment. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is the KDOT geometric improvement contract with KDOT for 2015 for $177,960. It's our share, and KDOT will contribute up to $750,000 on the K-14 project.
I have a question on discrepancy numbers again. The total of your two numbers is 927,000. I believe that's right. And the total that they have in the contract is $789,474 on page 4, number 4, article 2.
And that's probably what they're, when we applied for this value back in 2012, I'm just using those numbers there, so they've probably changed those numbers since then.
And if we don't have a contractor, with a contractor, we don't know what the cost is gonna be.
No, not until
No,
they
there's-
actually bid it and go through it. I mean, that's.
There's no way to tell exactly. There's a lot
Right,
that
so
goes-
those are actually not to exceed numbers that they've got on their contract. So last time we did this, we actually got some reimbursed because the contractor actually came in lower than their estimate. So they're giving you the high estimates you're on, which typically is what they do on their projects.
I just was wondering why yours is so much higher.
Because that was the original grant request.
Is this that same stretch of K-14 that we're talking about, where it's raising the elevation?
Right, yeah. Where they have that flooding that comes through there.
It's that piece they didn't refinish.
Right, yeah, which has been kind of the missing link for a long time now.
Entertain a motion to approve.
Tell me what that motion is.
To approve the geometric improvement as the
discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda. Is the appointments to the planning commission. And I put forth the names of Cheryl Renner and Greg Drum to the council for approval. For the planning commission, for the, both of those are outside within the 2-mile radius.
Excuse me, we only use one name on here.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't got to the other one yet, so.
So good.
Second, move on.
Will we go to see an application for the second person?
Glenn has it.
I do, I think he's here tonight.
Yeah, he's there. Glenn
One
is-
of our-
He said-
know him.
Greg said he wanted to talk to him.
Greg, would you stand?
Right there.
Greg Drum, Wood Patrol. Thank you for offering your service.
Maybe he lives west of town,
Yeah.
and Cheryl lives east of town, so we have one on each side of the city.
Is there any further discussion? Those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is adjournment.
So move.
So do by Councilman Brown, that we adjourn. For a second. Second by Councilman Ray. Those in favor? Say aye. Opposed, same.
Yeah. I need to get that one done, I guess. Cheryl, I can make it every now and then, work session. I'm not gonna change it,
Katie, do you have anything?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Rodden?
Just a couple things, we were talking about the storm damage there, we did get some damage to some of our buildings, this building and the gym up in North Campus had windows broken out and things like that, mainly because of the hail and high winds. So we're gonna, have actually contacted our insurance agent, he came down today and he's gonna have somebody, an adjuster in town, I think tomorrow or the next day. We got significant damage to at least one of our police vehicles, so they're gonna look at that, and I think they've already replaced the windshield on that. So we'll see what else we got. Another thing that's been kind of talked about is over there by Plum Creek in our power plant, there's been kind of a, what people have been referring to as a sinkhole there. It's been a drainage area there for quite some time. And what they described to me is there's actually a drainage coming out of the power plant going down into the area where the other drainage is, and that kind of has collapsed. Transportation has been working on that. They put some flowable in there recently, but they're doing a little more investigation to see what else is going on with that drainage area in there. So we're working on that. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's gonna fall off the edge here anytime soon, but.
That hasn't plugged that tube yet, has it?
I don't think so. We're afraid of doing
The main
that.
drain?
Yeah, I think that's still open. So if we do get some more rain, we're concerned about not plugging that all up because that drains quite a bit of area coming through town, so. But anyway, a lot of people have been talking about that drainage area over there. And of course, we did get a lot of trees down, but a lot of it was mainly limbs. They weren't big limbs. We did have people out of power for a period of time, some on the east side, some on the west side. Had some poles come down, had some transformers flooded, but those have been restored. And we have been spending a lot of time opening up the streets with a lot of debris there, and our guys have just been filling truckload after truckload there with a lot of debris on that. So we're recovering. I heard a high of 7 inches of rain during that, but most people said their rain gauges got broken because of the hail. So you don't really know how much rain you got. I don't think so. Anyway, quite an event. Hopefully we won't have anything. We did not get flooded down in Chautauqua Park. That was evacuated, but I think most of the rain hit in town, so it didn't go west, so we didn't get the floodwaters that we normally get on that. So anyway, so we're repairing and recovering from that. Like I said, our insurance adjusters will be here to see what we can do as far as that goes.
Blake, can we look at the drainage situation up there north of the fairgrounds?
Sure can.
Is that water, like, the other night when we got all that rain, that water came down there again, south of the Lions Club Cookie baseball field.
Oh, yeah.
And then got those homes where Todd Adolph lives, and, down in that area. And it was really bad. second shot that's happened.
Okay.
And then also, I had somebody mention over there on Chestnut Street, there's a situation with a lot of those drains aren't able to handle even a less rainfall than we had
Mhm.
the other night.